Why be getting concussed when you can be taking a drive by the beach? Guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Cobra Kai. We're now into season 2, episode 4, which is called A Moment of Truth. So in the last episode, we saw that Daniel attempted to get Miyagi-Do more on the map by investing in a lot of promotion and a demonstration at the All Valley Festival, the Valley Fest. There we go. All Valley is the tournament. In his advertisements, he did a lot of subliminal digs towards Cobra Kai, which were not over the head of Johnny, which lets you know they were pretty straightforward if Johnny picked up on them. And his students picked up on it as well. And as a result, they basically decided to crash said demonstration with a louder, flashier, shinier presentation. And Daniel feels like his plans kind of went up in smoke. But on the other side of things, Johnny finally opened up to Miguel about Robby, because Miguel figured out that Robby is his son, and at first Johnny was a bit defensive about it, but later on with Miguel, since he is the closest to Miguel, he gave them the full story and let him know that it's a sensitive topic and the reasons why, and now the two of them have definitely bonded a bit more. But once again, he still isn't necessarily making the steps that are necessary to rebuild that bridge to Robby. So we're still getting into the thick of things. I'm still loving going through this again and refreshing my memory before we jump into the newest season. We're about to get into this episode, but before we do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully you like this video and you'll consider giving it a thumbs up button there, because it helps me a lot with the algorithm and it means a lot to me. And if you really like it, you'll hit that subscribe button and join the fam. We're on our way to 10K. We recently hit 8.5K the other day. I'm so thankful and grateful to everybody who's been along this journey with me, and that includes those of you who've been here before. If you have been, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back, and again, I hope that you join the fam today if you have not done so already. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into this episode right about now.
I was a little afraid you'd be the other guy. He's a little unhinged.
Guess who is his trainer?
I prefer to take a flag football approach to my karate training. Ideally learning...
Kreese is like, I'm gonna whip this boy's ass. It's happening.
Not to nitpick here, but I'm not sure it's anatomically correct.
You just put your hands on somebody?
So, you know...
I would be so mad.
An easy enough fix to correct the...
He doesn't deserve to be, like, beaten, but you don't just put your hands on a stranger. Ever. I mean, I'm sorry you didn't necessarily deserve to get, like, multiple hits, but don't put your hands on strange people without asking, sir. Consent is sexy.
Gotta look people in the eye and connect with them. That's the only way we're gonna be successful.
Not entirely, but I get where you're coming from. Miyagi-Do is not about all offense. It never was.
Go get Robby. We're gonna take a drive.
Aw, family trip.
Okay.
Get the hell out of my dojo. No, back door.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Okay, Johnny. Not gonna lie, but it was kind of hot. He is a greasy landlord, though. You don't just do that. It's actually, I think, illegal, but because he doesn't actually have a contract, that's why.
Everybody fall in.
What does that mean?
In neat rows and lines.
Oh, he learned. Kids do well with instruction.
Sorry, parents can't stay for class. It's an insurance thing.
Ouch.
Look, you're a little old. This is a class for teenagers.
Well, I can take him.
Which one of you has the balls to take on the champ?
I'll take him on.
New girl.
Look, are you sure that you want to do that?
Now you know how Isha felt. Okay, she's got a little spice.
Did you see that coming?
Ow, God, that's a concussion.
What's a lie?
And she likes to have the last word. Now you know. See, Miyagi-Do's just more my vibe. Why be getting concussed when you can be taking a drive by the beach?
You wouldn't want to go to the beach with me, would you? It'd be nice to have some backup. Guess I could suffer through a day at the beach.
Right. Oh no, hanging in a rich place. How will I survive?
You know, you guys are old friends, but some of his stories don't add up.
John Kreese and I go way back.
Smarter.
Guy's got his issues. but everyone deserves a second.
Guy is an issue. A walking issue. Like his issues have issues. A psychologist would just give up.
I feel like we should clear the air, but at the same time, I'm still pissed at them for ruining our performance.
Worst case, fight breaks out. We can record it.
Kids hanging out with a salesman, can you tell? Aisha's all in with Cobra Kai. The brainwashing is real.
So it's just you and Abs all summer, training. God, that must be hard.
Right? Like, why would I go to Cobra Kai? Things are pretty sweet where she is.
That guy's right. Maybe I should go.
No. Oh, hey, look. We all make mistakes. It's what we do next that counts, right?
That part's true. I appreciate, though, that he doesn't feel like he's entitled to be there.
Train outside in nature and
Do
incorporate.
I hear you gentlemen gabbing about
Look at my
karate?
girl, Kim Mills. I love her. It's Tootie.
Sensei Lawrence, he's helped her in ways that I couldn't have dreamed. He's given her confidence.
This is how you sell it, Daniel. You're being outsold.
Yeah, they said it was like a Van Halen concert.
Yeah, that was.
Got it on my phone.
Sorry, Daniel. It's okay, Danny. I said in the last episode this would be better, more his demographic, but, you know, he's talking a little too long. You need to get to the point. Show things. She was smart. She was like, my daughter's rocking it. Shiny picture. Sold.
Come on, are we gonna drink or not? Okay, one drink.
Maybe she's not the friend you need to be with anymore. That's one of the realities of growing up, is sometimes the friends you start out with are not the ones you end up with, and you can outgrow or go in different directions. He's like, can I help you?
Can I help you?
Why are you looking at me like you're my dad?
Eventually the fish will find you. You just have to be patient.
Miyagi's spirit somehow channeled into this man?
Wait, you're missing your wallet?
It's gotta be around here somewhere. Can you just spread out? I'm sure it'll turn up.
I'll check the beach.
He knew immediately. The way he really should have just said. And she shouldn't have jumped to that conclusion. I know when you see someone steal something, you make assumptions, but...
She didn't steal your mom's wallet.
Right. And she didn't steal a bottle of vodka. And you wouldn't steal half the silverware in here.
Yeah, she's from the streets. I wouldn't come for her, girl. Karate or no. Little throwback to what happened to her dad.
I knew it.
Good haul.
All right, look, let's get your stuff.
Robbie's like, let me get some footage. Oh, Johnny. You're so gullible. Hey! Miyagi moment. He's like, I met my mentor on the beach. I'm channeling his energy. Don't come for me. Daniel, I've been wanting to kick somebody's ass for 2 whole seasons.
Things got rough after I lost the dojo.
Yeah, don't feel sorry for you.
I tried re-enlisting, but they wouldn't take me.
Yeah, because you're crazy.
He offered me a job.
And?
I felt like it was a handout.
Because you've got a lot of
I banged
options. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound insensitive. I do know that life for a lot of veterans is very, very difficult after they get back into civilian life, especially if they're not able to establish themselves in another career. But those who are really determined to live and survive don't have so much ego that they won't take jobs that are available, especially if they're good with benefits, you know? But I mean, if he does have mental issues, which I think is pretty obvious, he needs to be seeking out help, not assuming that everybody else is the problem.
That sounds an awful lot like defeat.
Does not exist in this dojo.
You want a chance to redeem yourself? You got it.
He doesn't want to. But I really do appreciate Johnny in this moment because it shows that he really is a good person with a gracious heart somewhere underneath all his damage. And sadly, this is all on Kreese for being a manipulative jerk. We could really delve into all the layers of how messed up Kreese is, but this is not really his show.
Something good did come out of it, though.
He's like, well,
All Valley champ takes out
I
3
do look
criminals
good.
using Miyagi-Do karate.
Mr. Miyagi didn't recruit me. He wasn't looking for students.
ever.
It's time we be patient. Let those who need us find us.
Amen, Daniel. Amen.
Excuse me?
Like this kid.
I want to learn karate.
Daniel's like, I didn't actually think that it would work.
What about if your opponent attacks you from behind?
Excellent question. Sensei Kreese, you want to take this one?
Like a violin.
The key to this move is making your enemy think you are retreating. But just as they let their guard down, that's when you strike the hardest.
And just like that, they're right back to the cheap tactics that Johnny just told them a couple weeks earlier were not what Cobra Kai was all about. See, the thing is, kids pick up on hypocrisy pretty quickly. And even though Johnny is coming from such a good place as far as trying to help Kreese out, or what he believes is helping Kreese out in this moment, he's actually discrediting himself and making himself seem like he's not the trustworthy person in this situation, which is sad. But again, as I said, this is not on Johnny. Kindness that you extend to people, the ability to do and be better, that is never the person who gives that opportunity's fault if it backfires, so to speak. You know, we heard that expression, no good deed goes unpunished, but that's actually not true. Even if something blows up in your face because you are altruistically trying to help somebody, it's not some kind of punishment for doing the right thing. It might be a lesson about maybe being a little more careful about where you put your trust in the future, but it's not on you. And the thing is, even if it feels bad in the moment, if, you know, it comes back to you negatively, in the long run, you still feel good because you know you did the right thing and your intent was to help that person. That person's the one who is to blame, so to speak, if things go sideways because they decided to take that second chance and burn it to ash. It's interesting to see this dynamic here with Johnny. But like I said, what I like about it is that it shows that Johnny really is somebody who is kind and benevolent, and he does have the capacity to be quite kind, but he just has so much of his own trauma and damage that he still needs to work through so that he can drop a lot of the defense mechanisms, because that's really what it is. You know, the name calling, the constant, you know, aggression, the demeaning people who he thinks are weaker. All of those are defense mechanisms against the sensitive magic kid that he was, that got teased and bullied by his own stepfather and then by his, you know, peers. That's all this is. But Johnny does have compassion, and Kreese is somebody who he believes gave him a path when he was at his lowest as a kid. And now he thinks he's returning that favor, which in a way he is. But as we know, Kreese is a master manipulator. And sadly, if Johnny was a little bit more astute, he would have picked up on the fact that when Kreese said that they would not allow him to re-enlist because they did not find him to be mentally stable, that should have told him something. Like, that should have let him know that maybe I don't need him running my dojo. It's not to say you couldn't help Kreese out, but at that point, it's more of, what else can I help you with? Because I don't think you should be teaching students if the military, which is generally not that picky as long as you're mostly physically healthy, if they're like, nah, you too crazy for us, that should tell you that he should not be teaching children, or anyone for that matter. So anyway, but Johnny, of course, is just, he's still stuck in the past in many ways, and he still looks at Kreese as a mentor, and it's very hard to take your mentor off of a pedestal. Even though he did go through what he went through with Kreese all those years ago, I think all this time, Johnny has deep down kind of hoped that Kreese was not that evil man, because he did have him in such a high place in his life for so long. So anyway, we'll have to see how it goes, as he's already opened that door again to let Kreese get in there and manipulate the way he has in the past. We all know it's going to end in regret, but it is very interesting to see how Kreese has laid that groundwork out. But conversely, we had, Daniel, who's trying very hard to get Miyagi-Do back on the map. And he tried all the sales tactics that he's used to, but in the end, I really like that after he had his moment of meeting the Miyagi spirit-like person on the beach, and then, of course, having his Miyagi moment where he saves Robby from being bullied, or beaten, I should say, that in the end, he kind of hits him that, you know what, while I could take this video that Robby took and, you know, have it go out and be viral or whatever, the same way Cobra Kai did, that's not what we're about. Like, it's written right on the walls of Miyagi-Do karate. It's for defense only. That is the way that Miyagi taught and believed their karate was supposed to be used. It doesn't mean that's the only way, but that was the Miyagi way. So for him, that's the only way he knows how to teach karate, because that's how he learned. And so it's just like he was telling Sam earlier and Robby, we are a defense dojo. Like, that's what we do. And for us to go out there and act like we're something we're not, first of all, is a lie, because they'll discover after working with us for a while that ain't the case. And two, it's not true to what Miyagi taught and what Miyagi wanted for his karate. So yeah, I liked it in the end. I really liked that line he gave to Robby about, you know what, this is what we're about, this is who we are, and the right people who want to learn our way will find their way to us. But I wanted to bring one little thing up, which is going to definitely come up later on as we keep going through the show, but Miyagi's way was not the only way, as I said before, and it wasn't always the best way. And in in Karate Kid Part 2, that's where that particular, actually Part 2 and Part 3 really started to drill a bit into the flaws in Miyagi-Do in the sense of defense only. In season 2, or sorry, in the second movie, we saw that Sato, his best friend, Miyagi's best friend, he was also trained under Mr. Miyagi's father, but he kind of splintered off and did his own thing because he felt like there needed to be a little bit more offense and that the defense only wasn't enough. Of course, Miyagi didn't completely agree, but it was something there they kind of touched on it in the second movie, that there might be some holes in the Miyagi way of doing things. And then in the third movie, they really go into it because, you know, if you see the whole movie, Daniel gets sucked back into the karate world. And that's when he really recognizes after a fight with a certain student that he needs to learn some more offensive moves, because 90% of what he did was all defensive. And sometimes you got to be a little bit more on the offensive for certain things. So anyway, it's going to get more into it as the series goes on, but I think this is kind of the first episode where they kind of just bring that to the forefront, that there is a huge difference between the way Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do do things, and both have flaws. Anyway, this was a super fun episode once again. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.